The U.S. and Russia appear to be far from an agreement over the Ukraine border crisis. Officials from both countries met in Geneva Monday in the first of 3 bilateral meetings set for this week. Russian officials say they have no plans to invade their neighboring country, but as Ukrainian troops tell our Holly Williams, they're ready for battle.
In freezing conditions, we trekked along Ukraine's front line. With training and arms from America, they're fighting Russian-backed separatists. More than 14,000 people have been reported killed. Now there are fears of a Russian invasion.
All my soldiers in this time ready for battle.
You're all ready to die,
yes.
To save Ukraine from a Russian invasion.
Yes.
Some believe a Russian ground invasion, moving in tanks and artillery, is unlikely until the ground here freezes over. But here in the trenches, they've told us it could happen at any time.
Today in Geneva, Russian officials claimed they have no plans for attack, despite the massive military build-up. The US side told them to return the troops to barracks or explain what they're doing there. But some here believe Russia's President Vladimir Putin is deliberately ratcheting up tensions to extract concessions from the US and its allies.
I think that Putin is blackmailing President Biden. He's blackmailing other Western leaders because he thinks they can be fooled in this game.
So it's down here.
In Ukraine's capital, Kyiv, they've renovated old bomb shelters in case of attack.
It's a manually operated air filtration system.
This one was built during the Cold War. Now the West and Russia are again at loggerheads. Russia's demanding security guarantees to defuse these tensions. In particular, it wants to prevent Ukraine from ever joining NATO. But a State Department official said tonight that demand simply isn't up for discussion. Lilia.
Amazing reporting from the front lines. Thank you so much, Holly Williams. For more, I want to bring in retired U.S. Army Brigadier General Peter Zwack. He's also a senior global fellow at the Kennan Institute of the Woodrow Wilson Center. Peter, thank you for joining us. Now, what's your take on the outcome of Monday's discussion, and what does it suggest about the path ahead?
Thank you for bringing me on your show, Lilia, and good evening to your viewers. This is really tricky stuff, though historically we've been in variations of this before. This is a potentially extremely dangerous situation, a lot of weapons, and there's a lot of angst, and there's a lot of pride right there, especially, I would say, in the Russian position. But the Russians have a lot of scar tissue regarding the West, the so-called Western Front, Eastern Front. So they have that too. But you know, in the mortal words of Winston Churchill, to paraphrase, better to jaw rather than war. We're negotiating, we're meeting, we're getting at issues, a lot of disagreement, but maybe in that will be understanding on positions, and then you start chiseling away on the edges. I don't see any breakthroughs coming through, but the fact that they're talking, and now we're going to have a NATO-Russia Council, a fairly rare thing, on Wednesday, and then Thursday, a meeting the OSCE with Russia, including Ukraine. These are important, not just from a U.S. bilateral, but also from a NATO and European multilateral position. So I view it generally positive, though we've accomplished very little, except we've got a dialogue, and that in itself is important.
Right. I mean, absolutely. And amid angst and pride, I think, as you said, the most important measure is draw. Now, U.S. says negotiators put forward suggestions related to the placement of intermediate range missiles in Eastern Europe, as well as limits on American and NATO military exercises. This goes along the lines of the now defunct Intermediate Range Nuclear Forces Treaty between the U.S. and Russia. But what can you tell us about the history of that agreement, just so we understand the context?
Very quickly, back towards the end of the Cold War, the Intermediate, if you will, Nuclear Forces Agreement was signed between Gorbachev and President Ronald Reagan. I believe it was '87. And it took away an entire class of short-range and intermediate-range missiles that would take away, if you will, a class of missiles that in Europe and in Russia that could immolate each other's capitals on very, very short notice. And that treaty went on it had several thousand were eliminated. Also, there was a verification platform, and verification is important, friends, because that gets our verifiers, Russian verifiers, and that's in itself a confidence-building measure. And that goes until early last year, 2021, where we pushed and we were very concerned about a Russian class of missiles called the SSC-8s that kind of played loose on the parameters of it. They were also mobile, and it was decided to pull out of the INF last year. Now, if there is a chance to bring it back and be it credible to both sides, that would be a good thing. And the other point I want to make is that right in the middle of all this is 1991 was the START treaty, the first one, strategic nuclear missiles. Thank God we did get that signed with the Russians, an extension last year for 5 years. And it's itchy, it's got issues, but it is all about civilization ending strategic nuclear weapons, and that is still alive. So they're looking for a way to possibly talk about the intermediate range missiles, not get them out, and maybe put something in there that establishes it. We're far from that right now.
I mean, you talk about credibility. It is a time where credibility is frail overall, and especially in terms of Russia and American relations. Now, do you feel that the offer on the table is enough to persuade the Kremlin to pull back at the border?
The Russians are going to pull off the border when they decide to pull off the border. And they have their own inner dynamics that are driving them to that. But I will offer this. They are also under a lot of stress. They have also got a lot of forces up in the dead of winter, up close to the border. And it's costly, but they'll do it. They're putting stress on, but this is also putting stress on the Russians. They've made their points. We are making our points. That's all in the negotiations. Hopefully, this will create a window, an opportunity for the Russians to decide, okay, we've made our points, we're going to press those points, but we're going to kind of lower the temperature. And we're not even talking about Ukraine and NATO and all of those demands, where we are absolutely steadfast. We have to be. And I'm one who's been in Russia a lot, and actually have, on a personal level, good relations with Russia, to have major issues with policies right now. And there is no threat, no conventional offensive threat to Russian interest in the Western Front, full stop, and they need to get past that.
You mentioned stress, and it's clear that tensions in Eastern Europe remain extremely fragile there. But realistically, how high is the possibility, I take it you're going to give us some optimism here, of a war between Russia and Ukraine?
I'm going to put it this way. The possibility of a how did we get here conflict is always there. You have the possibility of an accident, an incident, a provocation. Now, in the worst case, we are nuclear tipped. The Russians are nuclear tipped. So this is devilishly dangerous. Again, they don't want to go to war, and we don't, and certainly our allies in Ukraine. So we've got to be doing what we're doing, and ideally work through this mechanism. And it already exists, something called the Vienna document in the OSCE. First, to kind of just get everybody off the borders. Now, here's a challenge, and Russia will say, Oh, you're putting a lot of force. Well, we have NATO countries, little countries, that are very nervous historically about Russia. Lithuania, Latvia, and Estonia, they're on the border, and they deserve NATO assurance forces. These forces number in the low thousands. They're no threat, but they are a tap on the shoulder to Russia. Don't mess with these countries. They're our allies, but they are no threat. Russia's forces along the border of Ukraine are, in my mind, are absolutely way overscale, way too large. They are offensive in posture because, to use a Russian term, correlation of forces, there is no ground threat. That is a offensive threat in being. It's signaling and messaging, makes everybody nervous. And over time, and I'll stop on this, this is making the Russian population nervous too. While they're proud and they're patriotic, they're tuned in too, and they get the information and the disinformation. But nobody wants boys and girls to come back in body bags, whether Russian or those of us in the West.
No one wants to go into a war. Well, hopefully we keep drawing, to use your word, from the lessons we learned in the Cold War. Thank you so much, Brigadier General Peter Zwack.
God bless. Be safe.